225, you leave me over. Galentine, Schmidt, go get your... Get Twombly. Hey, this is Blackhawk down. Twombly, Nelson, you're gonna stay here. You're gonna hold this corner in the next field with the Humvees. Galentine, Schmidt, coming with me. All right, let's go. How come I gotta stay back here? Because you're dependable. All right. Let's go.
That was, of course, actor Josh Hartnett portraying Sergeant Matt Eversmann in the 2001 film Blackhawk Down after his service in Somalia and the front lines of Iraq. Sergeant Eversmann is now speaking out for veterans' care here at home. He joins us along with Republican Congressman Sean Duffy of Wisconsin, who's holding an event today to raise awareness for new legislation on Capitol Hill. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. Congressman, tell me first, what battle are you guys fighting now politically on Capitol Hill?
So here's the deal. With regard to hearing issues in the VA system, it's one of the largest issues that relate to the backlog in the VA. And what happens is that veterans, if you have a hearing issue, have to get your hearing aids fitted with an audiologist. And we want to see audiologists deal with the big issues with hearing with our veterans and allow hearing aids to be fitted and tweaked by hearing aid specialists in the communities
what are the big issues? And talk specifically, what type of treatment are veterans not getting that they desperately need to get?
Here's a problem. Veterans are waiting too long to get hearing aids fitted. They can't hear, and if they're waiting 3 months to 6 months, to be able to hear, it's a problem.
And hearing aids, I take it, Sergeant, hearing aids that were caused by your service in Iraq and other places like Somalia.
Yeah, Joe, I mean, you just showed a clip of the movie. I mean, I can pinpoint almost to the hour the moment my hearing loss became that significant. And, you know, as a congressman was saying, you know, we're facing tremendous difficulty getting treatment as veterans through the VA. It's not that the treatment doesn't exist, it's just that the backlog is so big. I mean, it's the same story you've heard and been reporting on for years, and we want to bring that front and center once again in our activities here in D.C. today. I mean, it's that big a deal that our veterans understand that we're trying to find a solution through the VA.
Hey, Joe, you talked about it a number of times in your show about the backlog in the VA. The #1 backlog is in relationship to hearing issues. We're trying to remove that backlog from the high-tech guys, the audiologists, and move it to some of the low-tech guys that can fit hearing aids and get our veterans hearing again. That's what we're doing. It's simple. And it doesn't cost any money, Joe. Yeah. It's free.
And Mike, again, hearing loss and quality of life problems related directly to service for this country.
Yeah, it's a huge issue. I mean, no movie, we just showed a clip from Blackhawk Down, no movie can replicate the noise of combat. It's just horrendous. No movie can replicate that. But Sergeant Eversmann, one of the things I wanted to ask you about in terms of receiving assistance for veterans looking for hearing aids, looking for help with their hearing, is the logistics of getting the help. I mean, if you live in a rural area or if you live far away from a VA hospital, I mean, you're in the car, you know, for a whole day back and forth. What does this bill, if anything, do to address that?
Yeah, Mike, thank you very much. I mean, that's one of the most significant challenges that veterans face as we're searching for solutions. And it's not subatomic physics we're talking about. A kid that is way out in western Maryland that can't come all the way to Baltimore to see the VA faces significant challenges. And we're talking about basically allowing the hearing aid specialists that are on the economy already that are right next door to be able to see these veterans, you know, through this VA channel. We want to open that door to alleviate that logistical nightmare. And it's true in every state. You know, it doesn't matter what veteran you talk to in any state, they're still facing those same difficulties. And it's quite actually, it's just ludicrous. It's absolutely, we can do better than that. After 14 years of war, we should do better for these men and women that are out there doing it for us every day.
And that's my district. My guys are driving 2-3 hours to get their hearing aids tweaked and fitted. And it's important, Joe, also to mention, these aren't old guys. These are young guys that are coming home off the battlefield that have these issues, and it's a growing number that need this care and help. And again, really alleviating the backlog, allowing people to get care in their community, especially in rural areas, is really important, and that's all we're doing. It's pretty simple.
Sergeant, what are your thoughts as you look at the news every night and see all the gains made in Iraq in 2007, 2008, 2009, all now lost?
Joe, you know, I was there from 06 to 07 during the surge in Yusufia, southwest of Baghdad, and I can tell you it is absolutely heartbreaking to see, you know, there is sand that is bathed in blood of Americans, and no matter what anybody on any side of the aisle thinks, you know, we've got a ruthless enemy that needs to be dealt with, and I can tell you where we're going. It's like Sisyphus. We're pushing back uphill, and that is so demoralizing, so heartbreaking. But if there is good news in all of it, it is to say when you see a guy like Sergeant Wheeler and the caliber of men and women we have that still are out there pushing for us, you know, we're gonna get back on track, but it hurts. I can't lie. It's a painful commentary.
And Congressman, we just showed a headline that President Obama is now considering moving American troops closer to the front lines in Syria and Iraq. He certainly seems to understand the mistake he made in Iraq in 2010 by his actions in Afghanistan. Now it looks like he's going to try to get more engaged in Iraq and Syria.
And it might be a little bit too little, too late, but I think it's important that the president learn from his mistakes, and to think that we could just pull out of the region and everything goes really well. He was advised that that would not happen, and that has come to pass. We have huge problems in the Middle East, and that America now engage again and lead again, I think, is really important. And even though it's a small step by the president, I think it's the right step of recognition that we have to re-engage, and hopefully we can start to lead again and bring some peace to the region.
All right, Congressman, thank you so much. For Sergeant Matt Eversmann, thank you as well. Thank you for this fight, and thank you for this service